Well, I'm getting ready to do a test of the charging system on this truck, and first thing I'm going to do is inspect a bunch of connections and make sure none of them look like they're bad or whatever. Plus I'm going to take apart a lot of electrical connectors and clean them up with contact cleaner and put them back together and inspect the battery and so on like that. And the reason I'm doing this is this truck, one of the problems I've been fighting with this for a couple of years now is wants to stall out mostly when you're plowing snow or backing a trailer. That's when I started getting real noticeable. If I was just doing everyday driving, it wasn't causing a problem until recently. Then now, lately it's gotten to the point where it does it. I'm even just driving down the road, if I let the foot off the gas to go around a sharp curve or something like that there, I've had it stall on me now. So I'm not sure what's going on, and I don't know if the charging system can actually have an effect on that. I do know that when it does that, it's caused by the idle dropping extremely low, like around 500 RPM or even less. And I also know that when that happens, that the voltage has been dropping down to around 8 volts, sometimes as low as 8 volts. And at that time, the needle flickers on the voltage gauge in the dash. So that's why I'm doing all this. I don't know if that can have an effect, but I do know that the alternator itself does not have a voltage regulator in it on this truck. The voltage regulator is actually in the powertrain control module, the PCM, the computer. And of course, the PCM controls the voltage to all your sensors and monitors your voltage from all your sensors and so on. So voltage is a big part of it, of course. And so I'm hoping by doing this series of tests, and I'm going to run a test from the book. The manual actually has a charging system test procedure, and I will do that, and that will be after I get all these other physical connections and everything like that inspected and so on. So anyways, that's what this video is going to be about, and it's probably going to be 2 or 3 parts. So without any more chit chat, we'll get going on it. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove the battery and clean it, clean the posts, clean the terminals, and then while the battery is out, this has got a battery temperature sensor mounted in the battery tray. So once the battery is out, then I'm going to do a visual inspection on that and see what it looks like and all that kind of stuff. So once I get that done, we'll go on to the next. Well, okay, in this battery tray removal, I can't get to the bolts beneath the speed sensor, speed servo, or whatever they want to call it, for the cruise control. I can't get them out because they're rusted so bad, and I can't get to them to work on them properly because of this inner fender. And this inner fender's got these little press snaps on there, which you find in every automobile made in the United States since I don't know when. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take and cut a piece of steel out of this old bed frame, and I'm going to fashion that with a little bit of a notch in the end, and then that'll become my snap removal tool. I'll make it the right width for that, and that will remove those snaps. So here we go. Well, this is what I ended up with. I kind of rounded the ends a little bit. I don't know if you can see it or not. Find a clear spot to look at it. And I made one with a square notch and one with a V notch, and that in there works pretty good for getting the fastener without going behind the panel, and this in here works pretty good for going behind the panel and getting the fastener. So, but these fasteners, the heads popped off on them anyways, so it didn't much matter. I don't think there was going to be any way to get them out of there, but I'll just have to pop them on through and get some new fasteners in, which is no big deal. But now I can get to a lot of stuff in here and get to the horns. Here's these bolts, which you probably can't see because it's pretty dark in here. So anyways, those are the two nuts that got to come off to finish taking off that battery. And I'm pretty sure we're probably going to ruin some threads or something on these. But there again, it's just something I'll have to deal with. So it's not a perfect situation, especially when you live in the land of rust. So I'll get that out and we'll get the battery tray out and see what it looks like. Okay, this is the battery tray, and that's what it looks like in all different angles. And this is the plug that goes to your battery temperature sensor. This is the battery temperature sensor itself. I don't know if I need to actually test it or not. I probably will. I've got it out, but I imagine it's probably working. One of the things I'm going to do is replace the battery terminals. This in here, when I tried to take the bolt loose on it, it kind of disintegrated on me, and they're both pretty badly corroded anyways. So I'm going to put new terminals on them and clean the battery tray. Battery itself looks pretty dirty, so might as well do all this stuff. And then I clean it with baking soda and water. That's what I use. And then the book calls for coating your terminals with Vaseline, but I'm going to try. I did a little research and seen several different people that recommend using a zinc-based. I can't remember what they call it now. They use these this pretty little 4-letter acronym for it all the time, so it makes it harder to remember. But anyways, it's, one of the brand names is Noalox, and I have that stuff. I use that for doing household wiring, so I'm going to try that, see if they're right, and if they're right, they're right. If they're not, then I really didn't lose anything. And I'm going to, I still got to check the connections on the back of the alternator, or what they call a generator, and then I'm going to probably check the connections to the PCM, the powertrain control module. And I think I'm going to pull the connectors off of that and clean them. And well, to make it a little easier to check the connections on the back of the alternator, I think it's a little easier when you remove the breather tube and the breather. So I got the breather tube already out. That just snaps out of there. And then the breather, it's just got your tube for your PCB on it. And then there's a like a hose clamp type thing back there with a 5/16 nut on it, and then the front just pries up out of the little guide hole there, and that takes that off. And without the breather in the way, then as you can see, I can get to these connectors pretty easily. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull the connectors off and clean them with contact cleaner, and then put them all back on. And there's a couple of connections in here in this fuse box here, and I'll check those as well. And I'll probably do the same thing. I'll probably go ahead and redo all these connections, and that I guess that's just the housing for the fuse. Hopefully that's tight. And yeah, I think I'll check all these fuses and all that kind of stuff too, and make sure everything looks good there. And might as well go through it all. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it, right? Well, I got the battery all cleaned up and everything ready to go on, or it's on, and cables are ready for new terminals. Got the alternator all taken care of, and this is all back together. Got the charger on the battery. I'm going to bring it up to top, and then I'm going to do a desulfate on it and then equalize it. Both of those take 24 hours a piece, so it'll be 2 days sitting in here doing all that, I guess, after today yet. And I'm getting ready to go get the terminals now, and then this part of it will be done as far as the mechanical aspect, and then I'm going to run a charging system test. Then I'll be ready for another driving test to see if it's still going to stall. So anyways, thanks for watching.